Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, where we bring you the most impactful updates surrounding the IQD, VND, and the global revaluation movement. As of June 29, 2025, one of the most anticipated financial events in modern history is no longer theory, it's confirmed reality. If you've been waiting patiently with your currency in hand, that wait is over. The revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong is complete. Exchange centers are officially open, appointments are being booked, and fixed rates are appearing on screens across the country. The speculation phase is over. We've entered a moment that could be life-changing for millions. What has shocked many is that former President Trump has publicly confirmed the RV's completion, giving it unprecedented visibility. According to his latest statement, the IQD and VND have officially revalued and are now entering active redemption stages. Redemption centers in the United States and select global regions are contacting pre-registered individuals, initiating the exchange process. This isn't rumor mill chatter, it's a coordinated rollout, backed by banks and verified financial institutions. Trump's announcement has added momentum to what was already building beneath the surface. If you hold either currency, your green light has arrived. So, what does RV complete truly mean? It signifies that both Iraq and Vietnam have finalized the adjustments to their currency valuations after years of economic overhaul and policy reform. Exchange rates have now been unlocked behind the scenes and are showing on financial terminals in banks and redemption facilities. Reports confirm that some U.S. bank locations and private exchange centers are already conducting scheduled appointments. These aren't tests or simulations, they're live redemptions, conducted under strict security and verification protocols. Those who have received early notifications are now preparing their documentation and verifying holdings. If you haven't yet heard from a center, remain patient. The release is happening in phases to ensure smooth flow and operational security. You're encouraged to organize your notes, secure your IDs, and get ready. Experts are suggesting that the public tier of redemptions could begin within days. The activation is real, the process has started, and readiness is key. As for the numbers, early confirmations from reliable sources show that the Iraqi dinar is now valued around $0.40 per note, while the Vietnamese dong is showing figures close to $0.02. These are not speculative rates, they are current fixed exchange rates appearing at verified locations. This places those holding even modest amounts in potentially life-altering financial positions. For example, if you're holding 1 million IQD, that could now equate to over $400,000, 0 cents USD. These numbers are staggering, and they reflect years of behind-the-scenes efforts from both countries to elevate their economies and currency integrity. To understand why this moment has arrived now, we need to look at what both Iraq and Vietnam have accomplished. Iraq has significantly boosted oil output, secured trade deals, and restructured its banking laws to align with international standards. The Central Bank of Iraq introduced advanced security protocols, digital platforms, and compliance systems in partnership with global regulators. These actions built the trust needed for international support. Vietnam, on the other hand, has emerged as a leading force in Southeast Asia's industrial expansion. Its rise in export power, factory infrastructure, and foreign reserves has made the VND a serious candidate for global recognition. Its central bank has been preparing for this moment by cleaning up internal systems, increasing transparency, and engaging with IMF protocols. This wasn't just a regional milestone, it's a strategic overhaul that's now earning global approval and attention. Many of you are asking, what should I be doing right now? Start by verifying your physical currency. Make sure it's stored safely, sorted by denomination, and accompanied by purchase documentation if available. Be sure your identification is up to date. Most centers require 2 forms of valid ID, one being government issued. Keep both hard and digital copies of your holdings. Organization matters. Having everything in place when your notification comes can make the process smoother and faster. The exchange process is not expected to last indefinitely. Insider reports suggest a 10 to 14-day redemption window is being implemented for the initial private phase, with the public access to follow shortly. That means when you get your invitation, time will be of the essence. Redemption locations are expected to operate under tight appointment systems to avoid crowds, ensure safety, and provide privacy. So be proactive. Watch your emails, check your text messages, and review your mail. Notifications could arrive in any of these formats. As the revaluation enters full execution, it's essential that every currency holder understands how the redemption process works and what to expect. Exchange centers are operating under specific protocols designed to ensure efficiency, accuracy, and security. Whether you're redeeming at a major U.S. bank branch or a designated private redemption facility, the same standards apply. Expect to provide two forms of identification: documentation of your currency holdings and possibly the original receipt of purchase. Security is a top priority. Biometric verification is already being implemented in high-volume locations, along with legal consultation desks to answer compliance and tax questions. If you haven't received a notification yet, don't panic. The rollout is happening in stages. Early redemptions are going to those who pre-registered through vetted channels or have existing records with select institutions. However, the public tier is expected to open shortly. Some sources suggest that we are only days away from broader access. Keep your lines of communication open. Check your phone, email inbox, and even postal mail regularly. Notifications may arrive through any of those channels, and missing one could delay your appointment. Now let's return to the rates, because for many, this is the most important and exciting part. According to high-level confirmations, the IQD is now set at approximately $0.40, and the VND is reportedly valued near $0.02. These fixed rates represent more than just numbers. They reflect a recalibration of two national currencies that have been suppressed for decades. These values are now showing on secure internal banking systems and have been verified during real-time redemptions. This means no more guessing, no more waiting for rate drops or speculative posts. This is what revaluation looks like when it moves from theory to reality. To put this into perspective, someone holding 1 million VND could now be looking at $22,000.00. Likewise, even modest holders of 250,000 IQD are seeing redemptions totaling $100.00 or more. These are not projections. These are actual payout values confirmed at operational exchange centers. And with these massive shifts comes the need for strategic action. You need a clear plan, not just for your appointment, but for what comes after. First, establish a secure storage location for your documents and post-redemption funds. Consider fireproof safes or secured bank deposit boxes. Keep multiple copies of your ID, appointment confirmations, and all financial records related to your exchange. Next, begin assembling a trusted advisory team. At a minimum, you'll want a tax professional, a financial advisor familiar with currency redemption, and a legal expert who can guide you on wealth protection and asset structuring. Now is also the time to think about taxes. No one wants to talk about it, but ignoring it could be a costly mistake. In most countries, including the United States, proceeds from currency exchanges can trigger capital gains tax depending on how long the currency was held, how it was acquired, and how it's redeemed. Consult a licensed tax advisor immediately to understand how your redemption will be classified and what documentation you'll need to file. Set aside a portion of your returns for potential tax obligations so you're not caught off guard later. Smart planning now will save you significant stress down the road. Another important note: don't fall for scams. With the revaluation officially underway, fraudulent activity has already increased. Fake redemption centers, phishing emails, and too-good-to-be-true offers are appearing across the internet. Scammers prey on moments like this, especially when emotion and urgency are high. No official redemption entity will ever ask for your currency to be mailed or request upfront payment to guarantee access. If you encounter anything suspicious, Verify it with your bank or a known authority before acting. Also, avoid oversharing online. Even well-meaning discussions in public forums or on social media can attract unwanted attention. Keep your plans private and secure. Speak only with trusted individuals or your advisory team. Remember, financial freedom comes with responsibility. You've waited for this window, so don't compromise it by making avoidable mistakes. Lastly, be intentional about your goals. This revaluation is not just a cash windfall, it's a rare opportunity to create generational wealth. Whether you plan to invest, eliminate debt, donate to causes close to your heart, or simply enjoy a more secure lifestyle, put those intentions in writing. Build a simple strategy for how you'll use your new resources. The more clarity you have now, the more control you'll retain in the weeks and months ahead. As we continue with this historic moment, it's important to remember that this isn't just about currency redemption. This is also about the people, the global community that stayed informed, prepared, and hopeful through years of uncertainty. If you've followed the developments, joined forums, watched briefings, and kept your currency safe, you've been part of something bigger than yourself. Now, as this new chapter unfolds, we must remember to support each other through it. The community of IQD and VND holders has always been built on shared learning, encouragement, and resilience. Now more than ever, it's time to strengthen that unity. As people begin attending appointments and completing redemptions, sharing your experience safely and wisely can help others navigate the process. If you've completed your exchange, consider leaving general tips for fellow holders. While details like rates and locations should remain confidential, discussing what to expect and how to prepare can make a difference. From paperwork to etiquette, those insights are gold for someone just entering the process. We also must reflect on what this milestone means for Iraq and Vietnam. For the people in these nations, this isn't simply a rise in currency value. It's a symbol of renewed dignity and strength. Iraq has endured war, sanctions, and internal rebuilding efforts, and now it stands at the forefront of a major financial comeback. With oil production surging and a banking system restructured for global trade, Iraq is no longer operating on borrowed time. It's moving forward with autonomy and economic influence. Vietnam's journey has been equally transformative. Once considered a developing market with limited access, Vietnam now commands attention with its industrial prowess and expanding middle class. By anchoring its currency to real trade performance and fiscal reform, the country has gained trust and traction in the global arena. The $0.02 rate is more than a number. It's a statement of value, progress, and promise. The global response is just beginning. Financial markets are recalibrating. International media outlets have started covering the revaluation as a legitimate turning point in monetary history. Institutions that once ignored the IQD and VND are now analyzing their implications on the broader economic system. This shift will not only influence currency speculation, but could also reshape trade balances, commodity pricing, and central bank reserves. Even more significantly, this may open the door for other nations to follow suit. Countries like Zimbabwe have already begun laying the groundwork for future valuation corrections by launching gold-backed digital tokens and tying national currency to resource wealth like lithium and platinum. If successful, this could spark a trend in which global currencies are once again anchored to tangible assets rather than speculative projections, and that, in turn, could alter the structure of global finance in the decades to come. For you, the holder of IQD or VND, the message is clear. The opportunity is real, but it demands responsibility. Be smart about your next steps. Protect your gains. Think long-term. This is your chance to move beyond surviving and start building. Whether that means investing in property, launching a business, retiring early, or giving back to your community, do it with intention. Make every dollar work for you, your family, and the future you've envisioned. The temptation to spend impulsively or share carelessly is real, especially when excitement is high. But wealth that lasts is built with discipline, not emotion. Take the time to educate yourself. If you're unsure about anything, don't guess. Ask, seek out professionals, review every document, and double-check everything before signing. Wealth doesn't protect itself. You must take control of it with precision and clarity. This revaluation is the result of years, if not decades, of preparation, reform, and planning. It is not the finish line. It's the beginning of a new system. After June 30, the activity won't stop. Exchange centers will continue processing appointments. Banks will integrate new values into digital platforms, and investors will reevaluate where to move capital next. We are witnessing the start of a long-term shift, and those who navigate it thoughtfully will thrive in the years ahead. As we close this special report, take a moment to recognize how far you've come. From watching online updates to holding on during years of speculation, you've made it to the other side. This is a moment of validation, not just for you, but for every person who believed in this shift when others laughed. Today, that belief is being rewarded. This has been Iraqi Dinar News, and will continue to guide you through the next phases of this remarkable transition. If you haven't already, subscribe to stay up to date. Share this with those who need to prepare, and let your voice be part of this powerful story. The world is watching, and for the first time, you hold the pen.